Ah, good, you're here again. Welcome. Good day to you all. I am Tyrkir Thorkelsson. I remain your host, here at Northworthy Sagas and Stories. Please watch our videos. Please feel free to leave a comment. We always find them interesting. And don't forget to subscribe. Now then, as is well known, the country of Iceland was settled in the 9th century AD by Viking colonists from the land of the Northway, or Norway as it's known. And the people who settled there were hardy folk. To begin with, they worshipped the old gods of the north, such as Thor, Odin, Freya, and Tyr. However, in the year 1000, the Norwegian king, Olaf Tryggvason, he converted the Norwegian people to Christianity, and therefore the Icelanders soon became Christians as well. But this did not mean that the problems they had faced before accepting the word of God had all become a thing of the past. And one such example would be the kind of trouble that can often arise where the walking dead are involved. The Draugr. Terrifying zombies. They have supernatural strength and are very difficult to deal with. So one should always keep watch for any sign that they're about to set forth on a rampage in a neighbourhood. And, well, there was a time when a man had died recently who had not yet accepted the word of God. He went to his grave unbaptized. In fact, he was known to be a wizard, a practitioner of the old heathen ways. And many folk were frightened of him. And often with good reason. And when he died, well, there were many who suspected that it wouldn't be the last that they'd heard of him. Therefore, it was decided that in the nights running up to the day when he would be buried, that someone would have to keep a careful watch upon the corpse to make sure it did not walk. However, the search for someone who was brave enough to undertake this task, it wasn't an easy one. Many men were large enough and strong enough to grapple with the Draugr, but they lacked the courage to do so. However, eventually, one man was found with a sturdy enough frame and an iron will. And he was offered suitable remuneration for the night's work that would be involved. Naturally enough, he was prepared for the hours of darkness, sitting there on his own beside the body. He made sure that he had candles made of beeswax, brought all the way over from Britain. Now, these candles, they served him well, and also allowed him to keep an eye on the time. And they were always just long enough. The flame was guttering out each night, just as the first light of dawn showed in the sky. And it wasn't until the very last night of his vigil that the candle burned low. Because, when he'd begun, there had been storm clouds gathering, and the sky was already dark. at dusk, and therefore he'd lit the candles slightly early. And this meant, as the night had worn on, the candle had been burning low that much faster. And therefore, the first roseate light of dawn had not quite appeared when the candle went out. And when it did, straight away, the body sat up straight. And it turned and looked at the watchman with cold, dead eyes. "Isn't it fun in the dark?" the corpse said to him. But the watchman, he sat there and he said, "All the earth is shining now. Night has fled away. The candle's out, but dust art thou. Be silent for today." With those words, he set down his drink and he leapt forward, set his shoulders, set his hands on the shoulders of the corpse. He bore it down, pressed with all its strength, and held it there until the sun came up and the day of burial arrived. And because the corpse did not walk that night, it stayed where it was once it had been buried deep in the ground. And that was the end of the problem. And this is the end of the story. Thank you very much indeed for listening. I remain Tyrkir, your host. Please follow us on Twitter and read it.